Hey guys, thanks for tuning into this quick video about AP automation capabilities for QAD users using DocLib. We have worked with many users over the past few decades and have found the primary challenges for users in the AP space is number one, inefficiently routing documents such as physical invoices and supporting documents around the business for approval without good visibility or accountability on that process. Two, manually performing a three-way match for a PO-based invoice, even for invoices that have no variance between the PO, the receipt, or the invoice, still having to go through and confirm that in the three-way match. Third, manually keying the invoices into QAD off of a physical document. Before I jump into a quick demo of the solution for you here, though, I wanted to take you through a slide that I show to almost every newcomer to DocLib. This helps them understand how our solution enables the AP team to efficiently process an invoice and how the management and executive teams can use this process to cut costs, gain more value out of their people, especially in the AP department, and effectively report on key information for the business, such as days payables outstanding. So first, a document, in this case an invoice, will come into the business as normal, either through snail mail, email, or maybe fax. DocLib will automatically pick up this document from the email inbox off the scanner if it's a physical document, or from the fax server itself. After DocLib picks up this document, we run it through our proprietary managed outsourced OCR process. It's a mouthful. You may not be familiar with OCR. The important part of this step is basically we are able to quickly and efficiently capture all the important keywords and values off of this invoice, such as information like the invoice date, invoice number, supplier name, supplier code out of QAD, pricing, etc. After we pull all of this relevant information off of the document, we can then start to utilize the workflow engine within DocLib to process this invoice, eliminating the typical manual work that your team would have to do in their process. This includes automatically performing the three-way match, like I mentioned, for a PO-based invoice, or routing automatically a no PO-based invoice, such as a IT bill, to the appropriate department based off of dollar amount, to the department head, to the buyer, for approval, depending on what your process there is internally. There's a ton that goes into this workflow engine. I could sit here and talk to you for about it for hours. We've built it specifically with and for QAD users. Be happy to go through this in more detail and how it could be relevant for you guys in your process at some point. After the workflow process, though, we come to the automatic creation of a transaction, in this case a supplier invoice or a voucher, in QAD. This is the number one reason why my customers want to buy this solution, especially those that are QAD users. They love the integration they experience to their ERP or their system of record. One of my customers told me that this transformed the environment of their AP department. Their staff was previously only focused on the manual work, like keeping up with manually keying invoices, constantly bugging managers for approval of pending invoices, and focused on this manual approval process there and getting visibility into it when they were asked questions from management. They were experiencing a lot of turnover in the department, as is common in many AP departments. But once they implemented this tool, they were able to enable the entire department from the clerk all the way up to the CFO to focus on more important, valuable adding tasks. Once this transaction is created in QAD, it transforms the way that we can do business in the AP department. We will then obviously automatically save off the document, but we'll also provide a full audit history and reporting on the invoice. The reporting is really crucial, especially for an AP department. The first thing I'm going to show you, though, is this reporting, specifically before invoices are created in QAD and are pending approval from a department head, buyer, what have you. This is how my customers achieve visibility into their approval process through this reporting tool. So with a few clicks, we can pull up one of our standard reports for all the pending invoices waiting for someone in the organization to approve the invoice. I can drill down into the different workflows and the queues that to see what exactly is happening to each of these invoices and what we're waiting on. But next, I want to show you how an approver typically likes to approve an invoice in using our solution. One of my customers told me they wanted to show the CEO and CFO this solution since they think it would be really helpful for the department, but they wanted to show how easy it would be for the C-suite or for top management and executives to review invoices requiring their approval. For this particular client that I'm talking about, their industry and their business requires a ton of travel, especially for senior management and the C-suite. They're always on the go. I pulled up our mobile app like I am here and showed him how management can simply review an invoice here, as well as all the supporting documents such as the PO, any receiving documents, as well as the invoice itself, to make a quick and easy decision about whether this invoice should be approved or whether it should be rejected and sent back to the AP clerk or to the buyer for further review. Between the mobility of this process as well as the reporting capabilities I showed you a moment ago, he was able to look great to his CEO and was able to implement a tightly integrated solution for the AP team here. Now, when I talk to the IT people in the room, as well as maybe the AP or purchasing people that are on the front line performing this work, they love the integration to QAD. So the best way to show that here is on a standard PO browse within QAD. Here we have a blanket PO I use for a lot of my demos. With a simple right click on the PO number, I'm able to perform a DocLib search and pull up all of the relevant documents related to this transaction or to this entry in the browse. This is able to happen in any QAD browse, whether it's standard or a custom browse. This really speaks to the value of a true partnership between both QAD and Progress and how we are able to seamlessly integrate into any version of QAD you may be running in your business. If you're interested in learning more about how this can fit your business, shoot us an email at sales@pix.com or check us out at www.doclib.net. Thank you guys. Until next time.